Is this what the future of more affordable electric mobility looks like? This SUV dares to blend style, smarts, and savings. Say hello to the Leap Motor B10. But is Leap Motor able to pull off a good experience at an even lower budget category, or is it just another EV whispering promises it really can't keep? Let's take a closer look today and see if the B10 really leaps ahead. And the B10 in Nepal comes in two trims, the Life and the Top trim design. They both come with liquid-cooled LFP batteries of capacity 56 and 67 kilowatt hour, giving ranges of 380 and 460 kilometers from WLTP testing respectively. Luckily though, they're both equipped with the same 160 kilowatt motor, producing 240 Newton meters of torque from the back, taking it from a standstill to 100 in a sub 10-second timing. Damn. As for practicality, it comes with 180 mm of ground clearance for a 2.7 meter wheelbase car, giving you that confidence to tackle our road. The boot is a proper 420 liters, and with the rear seats folded down in that traditional 60:40 ratio, you get a proper 1300 liters of space. Oh, and it's got a small, cute and nifty size frunk at the front too. As for charging, well, it's built on the fastest and newest 800 volt architecture, meaning that it can actually take up to 11 kilowatts of fast AC charging. And just doing the math, and I also reconfirmed this with Leap Motor Nepal here, it is gonna take about 6 to 8 hours to do a full charge at home, basically an overnight with a fast AC charger. And depending on the variant, it can either take up to 140 kilowatts or a proper 168 kilowatts, meaning 30 to 80% of charge can happen in around half an hour on this. That is really cool. Oh, and this car has a V2L output too. As with most EVs these days, when it comes to safety, there is actually a bucket load of features that luckily aren't sacrificed on the lower trim. Nice. Alright, so what about the exteriors? At first glance, the Leap Motor B10 doesn't scream for attention, but it definitely holds it, just like its big brother, the C10. Sleek, streamlined, and subtly futuristic, the SUV brings a refreshing minimalistic vibe. And starting at the front, it's a bit blunt. Your wipers are tucked in and some of your sensors are on top. I have the bonnet open, no hydraulics here, just heavy duty lifting. And your small, probably less than 20 liter frunk, just enough for your cables and wires. Looks like your fuse box is there, and then your wiper washer fluids are here, radiator up at front, and then yeah, everything else is tucked in underneath and covered. But that was a nice heavy thud. There's a very subtle but bold Leap Motor badging at the front. And then moving a bit back, you have a 360 camera there, cutouts that remain open for your AC radiator intake, and then the lights, fog lamps at the bottom, your headlights here, your DRLs there, which, if I scoot to the other side, also act as your indicators. Fun fact, it's a full LED treatment of lights, by the way. DRLs, headlights, fog lights, tail lights at the back, brake lights, everything. Interior lights as well. And these headlights have features like automatically turning on, angle adjustment, and the follow me home feature baked in. I think that these sharp LED headlamps with a crystal-like finish give the B10 a focus and almost confident expression. But coming to the side, as you can see, you have the indicators on the mirror. There's also a 360-degree camera cut out right underneath, and they are heated as well. They're also electronically adjustable and foldable. And then up on top, you have this massive panoramic moonroof. It doesn't open though, but trust me, you'll see it in a bit. But coming down, it's form and function combined. Oh, there's a Leapmotor badging there, and I don't know, probably maybe some sensors and some other trim of the car. And yeah, coming down, 18-inch aluminum aerodynamic rims that look pretty sporty. The tire size is 225/50 R18s, and it's got disc brakes both at the front and way at the back. Coming back up and out, the silhouette is smooth and aerodynamic with manual hidden door handles, and the roof line gently slopes towards the rear, adding a touch of coupe-like elegance. Let's check out the doors though. Push, pull. Yeah, they open pretty wide. They're quite heavy, just like in the C10 too, so no compromise. Ingress and egress on this car should be fairly easy. Also, you have your charger port at the back here. And at the rear, the B10 keeps it clean. A sleek LED light bar runs across the tailgate, giving the car a wider, more planted stance. And the subtle spoiler on top is just enough to hint at performance without going over the top. Fun fact, I don't know if you caught it, but there is privacy glass there and on the C-pillar window. Oh, it's a chunky C-pillar, by the way. And at the back rear windshield too. But, maybe it's some cost cutting done by Leapmotor, but where is my rear wiper? And you have a very prominent, but again, subtle Leapmotor badging with the model name there. Parking sensors, 4 of them at the bottom, and I have the fog lights turned on. Oh, and in case you didn't know, Leapmotor usually hide their tailgate button. They still have given you a massive boot though, with the addition of a privacy cover. Alright, and as for the interiors, very large, bulky doors, just like the C10, but just a bit smaller. One touch for all the windows, yay. Chrome highlights, speakers, and then you have 64 ambient light settings around the air vents. Looks very cool. These are synthetic leather seats, and they do have heated and cooling functions on the upper trims, both the front, and they're both electronically adjustable again on the upper trim. And the driver's is 6-way, I believe, including your height, your accelerator and brake down there. And while I'm showing you the lower half, there's a lever down here for both height as well as reach of the steering column. Down here you have 2 cup holders, your 12-volt socket, and then a USB-C and USB-A, and then your NFC card has to go here to start the car. But yeah, getting in, I see a driver fatigue monitor and an AC vent to defog the mirrors. It's amazing and cool. And then I'm gonna leave my phone on a wireless charger to let it juice up. But yeah, very simple, symmetric sort of interior here. This HVAC does have a 2.5 PM air filter, by the way, if you're wondering. But anyway, with the it says swipe for NFC authentication, and we have control. All right, back where it's charging. On the right hand side is my brindle, park, reverse, neutral, drive. The left hand side are my indicators and my wiper. So I am going to leave that in park for now and then turn off the indicator. Again, it's a very simple layout with the logo here. On the left hand side are your car controls, your lock, and some menu. This is for 360 as it seems. And then on the right hand side, voice assistant.
Hello.
Close the sunshade. cool. So now it's
Okay,
closing.
sunshade closed. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Panoramic
Please put it in another
sunroof,
way.
by the way. All right, Leap Motor, thank you. There isn't any physical button for the sunshade opening and closing, so it's either through this button here or through the voice assistant. 8-inch small driver's display here, 14.6-inch, I believe. Center console that is like 2.5K in resolution, so it's probably more crystal clear than the monitor I'm actually editing this video on. And that's it. Joking, there is more to the center console. But your layout for the driver's display is fairly simple. Odometer and like, let's go through some of this. Your stats. And then this is for your ADAS probably, and this is for your media. Yes. 360 camera looks good. I'll be going in depth of the center console and this in another video, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, up on top, what I missed out was a vanity mirror with lighting. That's a very wide mirror. Nice. And then a rear view anti-glare mirror. Nice. LED lights here. And then on the passenger side, a glove box. A really deep glove box, honestly. Speaking of storage spaces, there is another pretty large and deep space here. And then again, you can always fold these cup holders up and have something here. And these, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oval cutouts are for your accessories to hook on. So I've seen Leapmotor advertise things like dioramas there, or like laptop stands and some other stuff, so go at it. However, I do want to point out there's like a space where, oh yeah, here, like, do you see? There's a space where something, I don't know what this is, but I noticed this in my walk around impression too. So just be careful if you want to leave anything on your dashboard. It's a big, fantastic space with like, well, it looked to me to be soft touch materials, but these are plastics apparently. But again, the overall cabin looks still very premium with this stitching and these cutouts and all the different soft and smooth textures in here. Anyway, onto the back. And getting at the back, you have the same treatment of door, speaker here, this chrome highlight there, smaller size cubbies here, and a little armrest. I like that. Ingress is honestly very easy, and damn, like, look at the space at the back here. Like, that is fantastic. I could fold up my legs here and I would still have enough of leg room, but let's not get carried away. You do get 2 rear AC vents, a USB-C, a USB-A, and then a small cubby here for like tissues and things. You do get a slot for like your iPad and things, and then I think leg room, knee room, shoulder room, head room, even if you're 6 foot tall, is fantastic. You also get 3 headrests at the back, an armrest with 2 smaller size cup holders. I don't think they would fit anything big, but your cell phone should be fine. And then you do get 2 ISOFIX points here. Also, I'm noticing that at the back, there is a lack of any light. Like, the only interior cabin lights are at the front there. So in case you are fumbling out and about in the dark and trying to find your keys or cell phone, good luck with that. But overall, it's a very nice and spacious feeling at the back, and this panoramic moonroof really feels like it's adding a whole dimension of space back here. Good job, Leapmotor. But anyway, I am sure you're itching to know how this drives, so let me hop onto the driver's seat and let's get going. Alright, today is finally a non-wet monsoon day. Love it. Okay, a lot of checks. NFC card, press the brake pedal for authentication, mic check, turning off the hazard lights.
I'm coming.
Open the sunshade.
Okay, sunshade opened.
And we are ready to go. So always drive responsibly and safely. All right, first things first. This is a massive car, and it is currently available starting under NPR 50 lakhs. damn. And it's a little smaller in form factor than its C10 brother. Like, I was up all night looking at the brochures and I did the math for you, but it's 15 mm narrower in width, 25 mm shorter in height, and 90 mm shorter in wheelbase. And the only major difference is in length at around 200 mm shorter. But to put that into perspective, that is still just 20 centimeters shorter. So at the end of the day, this car is still a big boy car, no doubt. Okay, that helped me navigate quite easily. Nice. And the refinement we saw on the C10 is definitely carried forward here. Like, the stopping and going are still very smooth. In fact, you get 3 driver's modes that you can access via this menu here: a comfort, standard, and sport. And trust me, comfort, or eco mode as I like to call it, is plenty. Like, foot down and away you go. The steering is nice and super light, making it super navigable for the city. And then there are 4 disc brakes, which feel adequate and very linear. Like, EVs are all about that regen lifestyle. And again, digging into the menu, there are 3 modes: weak, medium, and strong in terms of intensity. And for a change, I have actually left it in the strongest. You also get 3 modes of steering wheel: comfort, standard, sport, I forgot to mention, and that just progressively adds load and makes this more taut for like that more confidence inspired handling. But the highlight of this car has to be this buttery smooth suspension system. Like, it's got the usual McPherson strut setup at the front and then a multi-link at the back, and I thought, meh, what could be new? But then when I drove it, it immediately hit me. Like, back when I was doing my review for the Leapmotor C10, I had stumbled upon an interview regarding Stellantis, allegedly claiming that they had used their in-house resources to tune the suspension from Maserati engineers for the C10, and it's clear as broad daylight that they further tweaked and refined it here. The result? You can glide through bumps without losing speed or time on this. Like, it absolutely devours your average city bumps and potholes and speed breakers for breakfast. Like, the entire time, I was thinking that there's everyday level of soft suspension, and then there's this. So please go to your nearest Leapmotor showroom and have a test drive. Really. I'm sat tall and upright and almost in a commanding position. My view of the bonnet is like right there. I can see where the car ends at the front. So if you are a beginner driver and a bit unsure, then this is great. I also have large, whoa, I also like that. I also have large mirrors on each side with blind spot detection. That'll alert me in case something is sneaking up like that car in front. But I did notice that you're sat very close to the A pillar, and so it sort of just blends into your peripheral vision. Not that it's creating a blind spot, because the windows are massive enough right next to it, but it's just there and you can't ignore it. But also aiding your driving is this 360 camera that can be programmable via this button here. It activates automatically in lower speeds, not higher, because Leapmotor thinks that it's going to distract you when it comes to higher speeds. Oh, and what I found really nifty that Leapmotor did was they actually attached the driver's display here to the steering column itself instead of on the dashboard, and so that you never have a bad angle. So smart touch there, Leapmotor. And I think cabin insulation is pretty nice, not just for sound but for AC as well. That was a nice horn too. And entertaining you are these really rich 12 speaker sound system. Like bass isn't its best friend, I think, personally, but the mids and the highs are like extremely good. Oh, and you know what else is buttery smooth on this? The center console, that 2.5K HD display. Like it's got a really fast processor powering it, but it's also 2025, and I don't think there's any excuse to exclude Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, whether in wired or wireless, anymore. Also, cost cutting that has sort of affected me is the lack of rear wipers at the back. Like, I'm talking about the view from the rear mirror can get compromised. Like, no car manufacturers, please, the wind won't blow away the water no matter what the angle, and at least not in city speeds like this, especially when there is a mix of dust and mud into the game, like here in Kathmandu right now in the monsoon. But where they did not skip out, and I personally wish they had, is this driver fatigue monitor sensor right in front of my face. Yes, I know it means well, but it gets annoying sometimes. Unless that is there to be annoying to keep you wide awake and attentive. Like, Leapmotor certainly has come far from its intrusive ADAS beeps and bongs since my first review of the C10 a while back, but you still need to switch some of them off in the driver's menu each time you get onto the car, which I think is a bit of a pity. And now the crux of the matter: efficiency and range. Well, the C10 was extremely efficient. Like, I drove it all the way to Biratnagar from Kathmandu, and oh boy, did I have fun on that drive. Watch my vlog if you haven't. And it's really safe to say that the B10 has further improved on it, I think. Like, on average, with heating and like seat ventilation and cooling and steering wheel heating and moderate driving, I do get around 10 to 15 kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometers. But get this, yesterday night when I picked up the car and was heading home, I was doing a high-speed run efficiently around the perimeter of the capital, and I got it to as low as 5 kilowatts. Like, what? Was that a glitch? I don't think so, but just think about the possibility of the range you might get if that's the efficiency you were getting. I do want to note that once I got it into speed, I was really trying to be sensitive and light with my accelerator, and it dropped to like, I think 4.8 or 4.9. What? That's crazy. So it's clear it's not going to only give close to the WLTP range, but if driven very carefully, it can go well beyond and above it. So at the end of the day, the Leapmotor B10 isn't loud, it speaks volumes, it's got a clean design, smart tech, and hold its value for money, right? It's really not trying to be the next showstopper, it's just quietly changing the game, I think. So, would you take the leap? Anyway, that was it for this review. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the EVs that are shaping our roads today. Peace. Ooh, done, I think.